Hey, all my friends on YouTube, ladies and manimals. I haven't been around for a while. I've been doing a lot of housekeeping, getting the house back in order, I guess. I had to take a step back from all the 2015 madness. So, anyways, I'm back and probably going to be putting up videos pretty regularly from this channel, Truth Blacklisted. I want to talk about the flat earth for a little while. I actually find it pretty fascinating. I don't know if it's true or not, but some of the people that maintain the idea that we're living on a ball are calling flat earthers and the whole theory a complete psyop, which in some ways it is, of course. But you know, if the Earth is really flat and we've been told it's a ball for the last 500 years since Copernicus, um, well, I'd say that our whole existence is a psyop. So that's why I don't point fingers at anybody because I'm not sure what we're living on. And I think we should all hang tight together and try and find out as much about it as we can because the truth doesn't always turn out to be what we wished it was. Besides, I've always been a kind of mythology buff or whatever you want to call it. Like I love studying mythology, Egyptian mythology, Greek, Norse mythology, Mayan mythology, Native Indian mythology, all of it. I love it. Especially since I consider it a prerequisite to understanding today's Illuminati occult symbolism. Because nothing is indeed new under the sun. And of course, much of this ancient mythology can't clearly be understood unless you approach it from a flat earth perspective because most of these ancients, especially the Vikings, the Norse, their whole cosmology is based on a flat Earth Midgard hanging in the middle of a tree, Yggdrasil. And so, the purpose of this video is just to look at some of the occult symbolism, the hidden flat Earth symbolism, right in plain sight. Which, like with all this flat Earth talk I'm beginning to see in the movies. I was watching a children's movie with my son the other day called Peter Pan, and there's a part where a World War II scene where the German Luftwaffe are chasing a pirate ship floating in the sky, right? Because it all symbolizes that we live in the abyss below the waves. Once again, as I've showed over and over and over, that's why, the Navy is in charge of national security, airspace, and stuff like that, oftentimes. NATO is a branch of the Navy which oversees all the participating Western countries. Their navies fly under this NATO banner. It's the coalition of the willing because there's no difference between space or Earth, air, or anything. It's all the abyss to them. Mars is I found out when I watched the movie with Matt Damon that Mars is even designated naval airspace. You know what I mean? So the whole thing above the Earth is all naval. And the flat Earth symbolism isn't only in the movies; it's also on the UN logo. It's all over the Navy insignias, the symbolism, the way God says that He divided the waters from the waters, and it just so happens that the waters above the waters are naval airspace as well. Kind of gets you a pause to think about what it is we're really living on here. Anyways, getting back to Peter Pan and the way this flying pirate ship got away from the Luftwaffe, it just did an upward trajectory so fast that Peter's mouth was fluttering with the G-force, I guess. The Luftwaffe aircrafts had to turn back because their carburetors were choking. And they were falling out of the sky, and meanwhile the ship rises up, 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 up above the waves. And then when you get up there, I guess that would be the realm of where the ISS, International Space Station, is orbiting, where we get so many of those nifty little interviews that flat earthers say are conducted on spring-loaded harnesses simulating the effect of zero gravity or zero G. Seems to me that perhaps this fantasy world Peter Pan movie is portraying the actual reality of what goes on up there. I mean, you got to admit, if this symbolism does indeed make your head itch, you got to wonder why the rest of the crew of the pirate ship are weighed down, and only Peter Pan with his goose that laid the golden egg are partaking in the fantastical make-believe world of zero G. Perhaps Bollywood is trying to tell us that we better start rethinking the nature of our matrix by looking through the conceptual flat earth glass dome real darkly. If the world is indeed flat, not only do we have to rethink the shape of it, but the relationship that the elites have with all the planets, and particularly their obsession with Saturn. Once enough of us step up and start asking questions, or rocking the boat as it were, well then, I guess the sky and everything that makes up that big fat lie up there will all come crashing down to Earth. Then of course, the Jolly Roger, when it falls, it crashes through the firmament, because Bollywood knows that literally everything the Bible says about creation is true, and that is the essence of the Matrix, which appears to be all meant to keep us in the dark.
The pitcher, steroid Santa Claus, kicks and deals. It's a long fly ball going back, and the ball shatters the sky, bringing the ocean itself down into the stadium. Oh, Simpson just broke this dream's reality wide open.
That's about all the precious time I'll take off you guys for today. Tomorrow or the next day I'll be back with another flat earth symbolism video pertaining to a recent Google Doodle. I just want to make it clear that I'm not on a crusade to prove the shape of the earth one way or the other. It's just that this whole flat earth thing has opened up a whole new horizon for me in regards to all the symbolism that we see and what it means and how to interpret it. And that's all I do over here, is just pick apart symbolism. That's my forte. So thumbs up, sub, comment, tell your friends about Truth Blacklisted. And I guess you got another recruit picking apart the whole flat earth symbolism in the media. Let's see how long it takes for me to get called a shill once again.